What's up, guys? This is Paul with Born in the Barn Customs. Today we're going to be making a custom bumper and putting a winch on my Jeep. Now, this is what I've got so far. I took this piece of 16 gauge metal and bent it up kind of how I want my bumper. It's going to have more on it. I got this to attach my bumper to and to make brackets off of and make it nice and strong. I got a Harbor Freight winch. This is the fair lead to it and the remote. I have the wiring put up. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and make this bumper. I'm not going to worry about the winch for now. I'm also going to show you guys a really cool way to make this bumper if you don't have some type of a brake. Especially I think it's 10 gauge or 1/8 inch metal, but I'm going to show you guys a trick to make nice bends on it, just like I did with this smaller piece. This right here is going to sit flat. The fair lead will be connected on here, and it's actually going to have another level that bends down off of this. This is only part of the bumper, but it's just a guide. I was just figuring it out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this back out, and I'm going to trace it and draw this out on the thicker metal. Actually, a few different parts of this are going to get added too. So what I'm going to do here is this time I'm going to leave enough space on top of it and beside it where I can bend and make sides. Now I have it completely traced around. I'm going to transfer these marks, these cuts that I made. Now I have my piece all cut out here, and I have it all notched where I need it to. I gotta cut one little piece with a grinder, and I'm going to show you guys a trick to bend all this without a sheet metal brake. Alright, now I have all these ground out. I took a cutoff wheel and I cut on all my lines at least halfway through the metal, maybe even a little more. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and bend all this. If you see this, you can see all my lines that I cut through, and like I said, they're all more than halfway through. So now we're going to line it up on the edge of the table with them lines and start bending it. This is going to be my first line that I'm going to bend. So I'm going to remember to line these two intersections up with the edge of my table. I'm going to put the bigger side on the table. Now I have this held down to the best I can. And you got to think about the order you're going to do these, because you do one, it might make it hard to do the other. We're going to have to use a regular hammer on this. Weird, ain't it? Look at that. That's a
man. That is gonna be beautiful.
I need to do this one a little bit more. A little more. Right there.
Man, right in perfect spot.
This is where my bumper's at. I got it all bent up. Now I need to start welding it together. and figure out how I'm going to mount it and make my winch mount. It's getting pretty late and I'm ready to go in and get some dinner and a shower. My buddy's getting ready to go home, so I think we're going to call it a night.
I must get home to my 12 children, because if the neighbor comes over again, I will have 13.
Alright guys, it's the next day. I couldn't get materials for a job, so I get lucky and I get time to come out here and mess with this again. So now we're going to take the bumper and we're going to start welding it up and get it solid, and then we'll figure out how we're going to mount this winch. Alright, now I got my bumper laid out here and I put a few tacks on it. What I've done is I've took this measuring tape right here and I've measured up to each point on each side and made sure these were the same. Now what I need to do is straighten around on these a little bit and go through and tack them. So I pulled these so they're lining up pretty good here and here. So I'm going to go ahead and tack these two things. Now I know them are going to line up good. Now everything's lined up pretty good. These top pieces right here, I'm not quite sure about until I get to them. So I'm going to go through here and tack the rest of this and put a bunch of tacks on it. It's not going to hurt. You can't tack it too many times. I took the inside of my bumper here and I welded everything up. Everywhere where I scored through it to bend it, I welded it up. And that way it should be just as strong or stronger than it was before, especially being all the angles and stuff. This thing's going to be really strong. I'm going to weld these other 6 seams up on here, and then I'm going to take an angle grinder. I'm going to smooth all this out so this looks like one solid bumper. The whole thing's going to look completely solid on that outside. Alright guys, it's the next day. I got my bumper done here. Now I've got everything ground down, everything welded up. Now what I need to start doing is figuring out how I'm going to mount it and the winch. Now that we have a square to set our fair lead in, we need to mark the holes to drill them. My center's punched 2 spots for my holes to mount my fair lead. So now we're going to drill those holes. Now we have a hole for our fair lead. I'm going to take a file here and touch it up just a little bit. I got my fair lead bolted on here, and I got my winch mounted. The winch mount is welded onto the bumper. That way when I remove it, it comes off as one piece. Now what I need to do is take and make a mount that comes off here to my frame. And what I've done is I measured in between the 1-inch square tubing I have on my frame that I need to bolt this to. And I've measured how wide this is. This right here is 6.5 inches wide. And between my frame is 8 7/8. So the difference is 2 3/8. Half of 2 3/8 is 1 3/16 inches. So I need something that's 1 3/16 inches thick to go on each side of this. Well, what I figured out is I'm going to put this angle iron right here onto the frame, and then these are going to be welded to the side of this. If this is sitting on the frame, these will sit down in it. The reason I got 2 pieces of 1 inch, which one would work fine, is I want to know this thing is solid. I don't want to have any issues out of it.
Doing pushing it back.
Making our own trails.
Ooh, I saved that.
Oh my god! I didn't know if I stick my arm out or my foot.
Yeah.
I almost stuck my foot out,
I
dude.
second it was right there, bro.
Oh, nice save. Oh my god, you scared that of me.
Turn the wheels the other way.
I can't.
Flex, son.
God. You scared the shit out
Turn
of me.
that key off.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna...
Take it, we're gonna take it, cut left, and be able to make it up this hill. You can see it's pretty soggy, but I gotta make it up this hill, which is actually a pretty good step. And then through this, I'm gonna have my buddy hold the camera while I give it a shot. We got a winch, got my winch done, so if we need it, we got it. I might have to roll forward and get up on the hill, roll back, and do it again. I don't know. Higher than tires down might be alright. Get up on the hill, roll back, and do it again. I don't know. Higher than tires down might be alright. You see that suspension flexing and stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna run behind you, but I didn't. It looked real good, so I stopped.
No, you're good. Old girl's enjoying the snow. I guess it's a good time to show you guys my bumper and winch. I finally got it done. That bumper's nasty. I've been taking trees out and everything. The winch is tucked back behind there where you can't really see it too much. All works pretty good. I still gotta cut this thing off underneath here where I was originally gonna put the winch. Ain't no reason for it to be there now. Old girl's loving it though. Alright guys, I just got back here. My buddy had to get home really quick, so I didn't get a chance to test the winch out. I did test it, but I really wasn't stuck. I didn't record that. I thought I was going to be able to test it again where I was actually stuck. But my buddy had to hurry up and get home, so I didn't get a chance to. Here soon, I'm going to take this thing out again. We'll do some real good riding and try to get this thing stuck so we can test that winch out. I appreciate you guys watching. I feel like I'm getting better at making these videos. If there's anything you guys think I could do, comment and tell me. You know, anything you guys would like to see, comment and let me know. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe, like the video. Have a good one. I had a guy comment and ask how I have my shifter set up. I'm sorry it took me so long to show you, but this is how I got it set up. This right here is the arm that was originally on here. It had a linkage going back and the shifter was on this pivot point. Well, I took the nut off this other ball joint thing on the other side and welded it on this piece of square tubing, and then on this side I just got a piece of stock on this side welded off that bar that goes down to this arm. Trying to show you here, it's kind of hard to see, and it goes down to that thing. It pivots. All that is on like a tab where it pivots, and this rod goes over. Trying to get down here, you can see it. And if you look up in there, there's another arm that goes up just like this one off that pivot, and a rod going back off it to my shifter. And that's all I did to set it up. Cadillac Freeman, sorry it took so long to get that to you, but that's how it's set up. Any more questions, feel free to ask. Man, if there's something you couldn't see on there and you got any more questions, ask. I'll actually get back to you, man. I'm sorry it took so long. I just kept forgetting. Never thought about it when I was out here, but I actually thought about it this time. Get it to you. Sorry it took so long.